beautiful animals. You guys don't have to leave on our account.
You stay.
Yeah. We're just going to talk a little bit about you guys today. So, Mike?
Yes?
Why don't we introduce you to our viewing audience?
Okay.
You are?
Mike Rao.
And what farm are we here at?
We're at Double R Alpacas in Spofford, New Hampshire.
And as you can see, we've got quite a pack of ladies behind us.
Yes, we do.
We just brought these hay bales out, and they're really enjoying them. And so we sat down. I don't know if they'll come back or if they'll just kind of hang
leave.
out. So who is this little girl here?
This is Princess.
Why does she have a name Princess?
Oh, because she's a ham and she likes to get petted all the time.
Give me a piece.
Yeah. Come here, sweetie.
Yeah. So you have lots of different colors here.
Yes.
There's quite a variety of colors for alpacas, I understand.
Yes, there is.
Yep, yep. So how did you get started, and what brought you to think that you would want alpacas?
Well, we got started in, I think it was '04. We lived in Pennsylvania, and Cindy went and toured an alpaca farm. And
Cindy's your wife?
Yes.
Yeah.
One thing led to another, and we ended up purchasing our very first alpaca from that farm. She was Chardonnay, and actually she's the large white one.
This one
right
here?
behind you, correct.
Yep.
She was our first girl.
Yeah.
After that we bought this dark brown one over here, and then we bought one other alpaca, and the rest of these all came from our breeding program.
Wow.
So they've all been either born at a farm in Pennsylvania or born here in Spofford, New Hampshire.
So you started when again?
In '04.
Okay. So you've been doing this for about 8 years.
Correct.
And so how many babies does an alpaca have? Does it have just one baby?
Correct. It has
Okay.
one baby a year.
All right, because it takes 11 months, is it?
11 and a half months.
11 and a half months for it to go through that. Oh my gosh.
Correct.
Yep. Wow. So what would make somebody want to buy? What made Cindy be so attracted to alpacas? They're cute.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's hard not to love the little ones.
Yeah.
But it is a business. We're selling alpaca products now, made from their fiber, and it's also we're selling alpacas themselves. So it is a business for us. Let's see.
But they're almost like pets too, don't you think? I mean, it's like having a farm, but not.
Yeah, it should have been a business the entire time we've had them, but every year you get a new little one, you're like, we're going to sell that one, and after a little while it's like, no, we'll keep that one, we'll keep it in the breeding program. So, I hate to say it, but everyone's for sale, but that's always liable to change after a few months of petting them and getting used to them.
Right, right.
We are expecting 7 little ones for next year.
Wow.
This girl here, she's going to Pennsylvania actually next week. For
a
her
little
first
fun?
breeding. Yep, for her first breeding. She'll be down there.
Yeah. So what would you breed for? I see a lot of, like, you have like 3 different colors. You have a tan, you have 3 boys.
Correct.
And then how many girls do you have?
We
Females?
have
At
9
this
girls.
minute.
9 girls? I think it's 9 girls.
Okay. So you have a tan, and then you have a white and another darker tan. So 3 different colors of the males.
Correct.
And then you have all of these females. Now, will they just, if it's a white female and a white male, will they just do a white alpaca?
No. You can have 2 whites will produce a black, 2 blacks will produce a white. There's no rhyme or reason. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's no, until the baby hits the ground, you don't know what color it's going to be.
Wow.
You can try hard and put the right colors together, but sometimes you get the unexpected.
Yeah.
We have a little one back here in the back. She's actually out of a black father and the dark brown female to the right.
And you'd never think that you'd get a white.
Yeah, so we were kind of surprised with her, and the next year we bred the same mother to a different black male, and we have the little dark brown baby, which is what we expected.
Right. So they have different facial features? It looks like, anyway. Like some of them have, like, it looks like, maybe it's because of the fleece, but it looks like they have longer noses than others?
Some of them do have a longer nose, some of them have a shorter nose. A lot of that came from large farms down in Peru that bred them. So some of them bred for shorter noses, some of them, And it's just a feature of that breeding program from down there, because
Okay.
they've been doing it for thousands of years.
Right. So, okay, so you brought up Peru. Peru is where the alpacas originally originated from, correct?
Peru,
Okay.
Chile, and Bolivia.
And what do they use the alpacas for there?
Down there, they use them for their fleece, and they also use them for food. They're basically sheep down there to them.
Right.
They don't have sheep, they have alpacas. And they use the actual llama, who's the cousin of the alpaca, is used for a beast of burden. They're built more like a horse or a mule. They're built to carry loads, whereas these guys are always bred for their fiber.
So will they put llamas in with alpacas, maybe to prevent wolves and different animals from going after them?
You can, as long as it's females and females, because
Will they breed together?
they can.
Okay.
They can. They are close related cousins, so they can interbreed. And you end up with an oddball that's not really good for fiber, and it's not really good for carrying anything. So it's kind
So
of
it's not a thing
a
that you wanna
hybrid.
do. Yeah.
They really don't like to do that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So they originated in Peru. Now, how did they get to the United States?
They were imported. First importation was in 1984, and the last one was in 1998. And that's since then there hasn't been any new alpacas introduced. Correct.
Okay. Yeah. So what we have in the United States is what we'll have, except for, of course, they're going to be breeding.
Correct.
Now, do you know approximately how many alpacas there are in the United States at this time?
I do not.
No. I know that there's at least 2 or 3 farms in this area that also have alpacas. So, I think it's a very popular
Yes.
thing to have here. Now, you have competitions that you go to as well?
We do. There's actually shows basically all over the country. We normally travel the Northeast Circuit. There's shows in Burlington, Vermont. There's shows in West Springfield, Massachusetts. Shows in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, York, Pennsylvania. And there's shows in New Jersey, and there's a couple shows in New York. There's quite a good sized show ring in the area.
Yeah. And so what do you do when you go to a show? What are they looking for?
Their main thing is fleece. They also look at the conformation of the animal, the bone structure, but the big thing is fleece. In the show ring, they like a lot of crimp, and they like fineness, and a lot of density. Because the more fiber you can pack on the animal, the more materials you can make off of that animal.
Yeah. And we're shooting this show in October. So all of these animals have been sheared?
Yes.
Okay.
They were sheared in May. They get
Oh,
sheared,
really?
Yes.
Okay.
They get sheared once a year, and that's normally in April, May. We did ours in May, and we actually shear them here on the farm. We do it ourselves.
Yeah. So when you do them, do you do anything with the face? Like, do you cut any of this hair up here? Because this seems to be pretty strong on most of them.
We leave them
Or is
heavy
it a personal preference?
It's just personal preference.
Okay.
I've seen people shear them right down to skin, and I do it if their heads get matted up. We'll take it right back down to close to the skin, and it'll grow back. It just takes the heads longer, and the legs it takes longer. So we normally try to leave as much as possible and trim it up after the fact.
Yep. And what do you do with is it fleece or is it fiber? What do you call
fleece,
it?
you can call it fiber.
What do you do with it when you send it out someplace to get it?
We do. We
carded?
belong to a co-op. We send some to the co-op, and we're able to purchase socks and stuff back from them, made from our fiber. And then we also send some up to Barrington area. There's a mini mill up there that converts it from fiber into yarn. So then we can sell the yarn, or we actually sell roving also, which is what the hand spinners use to make yarn.
Okay, so that's like a rope of carded fleece, or
Yes, it's cleaned, it's carded,
Yeah.
but it's a thick rope, and then they spin that into yarn.
Yeah, yeah. So the other day we were here, you had an alpaca day, which you usually do have in the fall.
Yes.
And we had a spinner here.
Yes.
So she was doing some spinning on the loom, or not the loom, the spinning wheel.
Yep.
And it was really interesting because it was very quick for her to do it with that rove,
Yes.
to go through, and she was pretty talented, I thought. But anyway, thank you, Marcy. But it was really interesting to see how soft it is, and really pretty much how strong it is.
Yes.
And then what I understand is you can also spin it and then put 2 pieces together, 2 pieces of the yarn together
Yes.
to make it even stronger.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. You can do multiple strands together.
Yep. So do you have anybody that is in your family that likes to knit, or do you guys do any of that yourselves, or you have friends?
Cindy likes to knit, and she's been trying to learn to to spin. But it's like anything, it's difficult. It takes time
You gotta
to
practice.
learn. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
she's learning. Let's
Yeah.
put it that way.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to include spinning classes and also knitting and weaving type classes in the future.
Yeah.
To get people interested in the fiber itself.
Right,
and
right.
the
Because
yarn.
it is beautiful fiber.
Yes.
And I mean, wouldn't anybody love to have a sweater made
yeah.
out of something like this, or a scarf, or anything? She's just so nice, isn't she?
Yes.
Gosh,
She's
you
a
trained
ham.
her well.
Yeah, I wish I could take
Yeah,
credit for her, but that's
yeah.
just her natural personality.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a friendly one.
Yeah. Well, I think we've
Scared
all of them away. I wonder if they'll be back for the hay later.
Yeah.
So how much does a regular alpaca eat? I mean, I see a nice green pasture here, but do you have to supplement them with hay as well?
We do feed hay. We feed it year round. It's free choice. We go through approximately a bale a week for the 15 or 12 animals we have on site right now.
A week or a day?
A day.
A day, okay.
Excuse
So,
me.
yep. So you go through a bale a day, which really isn't that expensive. I mean, to
No.
have all these animals and to have one bale of hay.
No.
So if someone was going to have an alpaca, which would probably turn into more than one alpaca,
Yes.
and then another alpaca,
Yes.
and on and on.
It's like potato chips. There.
Right.
You just can't stop with one.
Right. But if somebody was going to get started and wanted to purchase an alpaca, what would they have to do? Would they have to have an acre? Would they have to have 5 acres? What would they have to have?
You could, if you had an acre of nice green area, you could support 2 or 3 alpaca on it without a problem.
Yeah.
You can do more than that if it's a heavily seeded portion, but I would say 2 to 3, maybe 4 alpacas on an acre.
And what do? Do you separate it so that they only eat one section and then they come to another, or
Yes.
or do they eat the grass right down to the roots? I don't know how.
No, they're actually very gentle on grass. They only have lower teeth, and they don't pull the grass out by the roots. They actually snip it off. They actually have a split upper lip that they can use to sort through the grass, so they can pick one blade of grass if they want to.
Wow.
It's just something they've, down in where they've come from, it's really sparse, so they have that upper lip. It's not like a horse or a cow that just goes out there and rips big clumps of grass out.
Right.
These guys, you know, once we take them off the pasture here, probably another 3 or 4 weeks, we'll pull them off pasture, and it'll start growing back before next spring.
Yeah. They will be happy then.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you have a website for any of this?
Yes, we do. It's
Okay.
rralpacas.com.
Great. Great.
So.
Great. Well, I wish Cindy was here today, but
Yes.
we'll see her again some other time.
We will.
And when you call or visit the farm, you can stop by and ask for Cindy, or you'll probably see her here as well.
Yep.
So, Mike, where are you guys headed? What do you want to do from here on?
We're trying to actually turn it into a business, a full-time business. Right now, Cindy is full-time alpaca farmer. It'd be nice if we got farther along and then I could become a full-time alpaca farmer. But we're going for raising quality animals that are showable. We're not just here for the fiber. There is a lot of areas out there we can grow in the fiber industry, but we're still trying to raise quality animals that are showable.
Yeah. Well, good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
So will you continue with the males, or will you, now she's going out to Pennsylvania to be
Correct.
bred, so that's going to bring in some more stock.
Bloodline, yes.
Right,
New
right.
bloodline.
Yep, yep.
We breeder some of our males, but we're actually, a lot of these males are related right now. So we're forced to go outside and get different bloodlines.
Right,
bring
right.
back
And
in.
that's something you have to do. I
Yes.
mean, if you don't,
Yeah, you don't want to interbreed.
no, no. Well, thank you. I mean, everybody looks so happy here.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful time of year.
it is. It looks like the sun's just barely coming out.
Yep. Just trying to.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll let them eat and we'll come back another day. So
Okay.
today we've been in my backyard with Mike from the R Alpaca Farm
Correct.
in Spofford. And if you're interested in more information about this show or future shows or would like to be a guest, you can email us at inmybackyardch8@gmail.com and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again in my backyard. Oh, you got a spitter.
That was an air puff there.
Oh, that was an air puff.
That was an air puff. That wasn't a spin.
Okay.